American standard of what cheap is not is like far too cheap.
So we are going to get started, everyone. Welcome to Deductive Tasting Tuesday. My name is Tuanni, I'm owner of Zuri Wine Tasting. And this is Tuesday. We are actually going to taste wine, evaluate wine. We're going to try to discover the aromas, the taste, the nuances, the quality of the wine. And yeah, let's get started. So right now, let me tell you guys what I'm drinking first of all. First, let me tell you what Cote is, right? So when you think about the Rhone Valley in France, it's actually one of my favorite regions in France, just because they specialize in Rhone style. I mean, they specialize in Syrah and they specialize in Viognier. So those are the two most popular grapes in the Rhone Valley, right? You have the Northern Rhone and then you have the Southern Rhone. In the Northern Rhone, they're very unique because in the Northern Rhone, you can only find Syrah and Viognier. Those are the only two grapes that they grow in the Northern Rhone Valley, right? And then in the Southern Rhone, they grow, gosh, a number of different grapes. I can't even name them all. Please don't even make me name them all. But the most popular red ones are going to be Grenache and Syrah. And then the most popular white ones are going to be, and Mouveaudre. Grenache, Syrah, and Mouveaudre. Those are going to be the three most popular in the Southern Rhone. And then for the whites, you're going to have Viognier, of course, Roussanne, Marsanne, and Grenache Blanc, right? But there's a lot of different grapes. There's a place in the Southern Rhone called Châteauneuf-du-Pape, and they make a red wine blend, and they put, it's either 13 or 16, it depends on how you look at it. So 13 different grapes in this white blend. That's in Châteauneuf-du-Pape. And Cote de Rhone, mostly you're going to see, for the red grapes, you're going to see Syrah and Grenache. So it's either going to be a combination of more Grenache heavy or more Syrah heavy. So that's what Cote de Rhone is. So when you're drinking Cote de Rhone, if it's a red Cote de Rhone, you're usually drinking a combination, a blend of Syrah and Grenache. Okay? So any questions so far about Cote de Rhone or about the Rhone Valley? Nice. All right, and that's in France. What I am drinking is this really cool buy, and you guys know I have my class for the East Coast people at 1 a.m. my time, and so I opened this 3 hours ago, and it's a 2003 Belarus Cote de Rhone. The maker is called M. Chapoutier. I'm probably saying that wrong, but never mind my French. And it's from 2003. When I opened this wine for the first time, I was super surprised by the cork, right? So a lot of times when people look at their wine, when you go to a restaurant and the waiter gives you the cork and they smell the cork, that does nothing for you. That's absolutely a waste of time. That's just things that people do so they can look snobby. What you want to do is you want to fill the cork. And what I was surprised about this was how in good shape the cork was, right? So this cork is solid, it's not crumbly. And then also I looked at the color of the cork. So if you see that, it's dark purple, it's very stained, which tells me that this wine, when they originally made it, they probably left the grapes juice in contact with the skins for a very long time. That's usually an indication of a well-made wine, like the winemaker took his time, they didn't rush the process. So I was super excited when I saw how dark this purple cork was. Yeah, so I was super excited about this. I'll just tell you really quickly, this wine I bought at this specialty wine store, and they have an auction every year that they raise money for a charity, and they had this big plastic bin, and they had all these wines that were aged. There was even a 1995 Sauternes, which I definitely wanted to buy, but you know what, I'm on a budget, so I literally had like 12 different wines, and my friend was like, Tuanni, I thought you were on a budget. I was like, I know I am on a budget, but they were all 100 Rand, which is basically $7, right? So I was like, okay, let me stick to my budget. Let me just get this one wine. So I got this one wine. It's from 2003. It was in this big plastic bin. And I was like, okay, it's probably not good. It probably wasn't stored right. That's probably why they're giving it away. But you guys will find out this wine it's legit. I wish I had bought 20 of them. So that's the story behind this wine. Who else wants to tell me what they're drinking?
I don't know how to say it.
It's okay. I messed mine up too. I said it was called Belarus, and I think that's how you say it.
Okay, this is a Guy Musset, Cote du Rhone.
Cote de Rhone. Get that right. You don't pronounce the S, so it's Cote de Rhone.
Cote de Rhone. Yes. So Guy Musset, and it's from France, and it's a 2019.
Nice. Can't wait to see how that's tasting. Who's next? Linda?
Mine it's Halos de Jupiter. And it is 80% Grenache and 20% Syrah.
Nice. Can't wait to see the color on that one. How about Nicole and Robert?
Okay, we have a Vidal Fleury, Cote de Rhone. And this is Grenache Syrah. Oh boy, I can't see. Mourvèdre.
Mourvèdre is how you say it. It's just 2 syllables. Oh no, did I freeze? Oh no, come on, internet.
But 65% Grenache and 20% Syrah.
Nice, and then 15%, because that was only 85%, right?
65 Grenache, 20% Syrah, 10% Mourvèdre, and 5 Carignan, or it's C-A-R. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Carry on. I mean, my French is terrible too, but I know exactly what you're talking about. That's another one of the Rhone varietal grapes. There's so many Rhone varietal grapes. Yes, carry on. All right. So 5 different grapes.
Really?
Right?
Yes. Okay,
and you want to tell us what you're drinking?
Yes. So me and Carmen and I both went to Bevmo, and we're gonna split. So we got 2 bottles of the same thing, so we can taste them together. I have the Rhode something, Lofer, maybe Domaine de Vieux Lavore.
Let's see it. Who speaks French? Ve Levore, Cote de Rhone. So Domaine le Levore.
Vieux.
So, yep, that's the one. And then the other one is this one.
Oh, I think I've had that one before. Reserve de la, can't say it, Rosier. And that's why James Suckling gave it 90 points.
Right.
Tell us which grape varietals are in both ones.
So, this bottle that I'm holding up says it's 85% Grenache, 10% Syrah, and 5% Mourvèdre.
Mourvèdre, yes.
And then this one, I can't tell. It doesn't say. It's bottled by the same company, Earl Rodil, but oh no, actually it says imported by Latitude Wines. This one says Earl Rodil Jouffre, but it doesn't say the mix of the grapes. Okay. So I don't know. It just says AOP Cote de Rhone 2019.
We'll see.
But it doesn't.
We'll see if we can guess. But I feel like Cote de Rhone is mostly usually Grenache heavy. You know, it's a blend definitely, but maybe Grenache heavy. But we'll see. And that's the problem with French.
And we saw the one that you have, and I wish I got it in it now so that I could compare it.
I know. And what year was it? I wonder.
I don't know. I'd actually go back and look.
Okay.
I may go back. It all depends on if I like it. So whether I go back and
this one, and I would say if you saw it, go back and get it, but lay it down.
Go back and get it.
Lay it down for like a number of years. Get 2 bottles. Lay one down.
Okay.
10 years.
Yeah, they actually, none of the bottles were more expensive. I don't think I saw anything, but I may not have looked over 19. Like one of these was 19. I don't remember which one, and it was on the 5 cents. So I bought one of each. so that I could, you know, spend $20. But we saw a lot. He was like, oh, there's only 2. And then the more we looked, there were like 3 different, not 3, 5. There's probably 5 different makers, bottlers. So it'll definitely, if I like it, I'll go back. So I've got 2 different, the 1 and the 1. And Carmen, she left with our little bottle of hers too.
Is she joining us?
I thought she was. She just sent me a picture. We're both supposed to be on another call too. And I said, well, I'll join that one on my cell phone because it's an educational thing. And I'll join this one by talking. But I can't get in the other one. So I think she got in the other one.
Larissa, what are you drinking?
I am drinking, I don't know if you're familiar with Bodied Vineyards in Santa Cruz.
No, I've heard of them, but I'm not too familiar with them at all.
Okay.
Nice.
So it was owned by Randall, who he loves varieties of the Rhone region in southern France. So I'm drinking his Laissez Garde Volant, which is his signature wine. And it is a blend of Grenache, Salt, and Syrah.
Nice. It's a Rhone blend. Grenache heavy. I love it.
Yeah. And it's from California.
Nice. So a Rhone blend from California. I'm super excited about that. And that's where I fell in love with like Rhone varietal grapes, was in California. I actually started drinking a lot of wines from Santa Ynez, and they make a lot of Rhone varietals. That was like the first Mourvedre that I had. The first Viognier that I had was actually California Rhone varietal grapes. So let's get started. Are you guys ready to get started? Let's first take a picture. So if everybody can hold their wine up. I did this earlier. I probably should try it again. Let me see if I could do it again. I was really good at it earlier. Okay. Like this. And then I'll do this. Let me see. Wait, well, let me first get. Okay, wait, kind of maneuver it. Oh shit, okay, it's not gonna work. Okay, there we go, it's gonna work. Got it, okay, I look crazy, but I got the picture. All right. So if you can first just pour a little bit in your glass. So this wine that I have is from 2003, and it says that it's unfined, right? So when something says, first of all, if something's from 2003, what is it that you guys expect to see in the wine? You expect to see sediment,
little residue.
Right? Huh?
Yeah.
You expect
a little residue.
The sediment, right? So, you know, because that's what happens. The molecules start to stick together, they start to combine, and then they settle in the bottle of the wine. And so maybe the residue is at the bottom of the wine, at the bottom. Maybe I've been storing it right, so that's why I don't see it in my glass. And then it's unfined. So if something is unfined, you expect for it to be a little bit cloudy, right? So my wine is a little bit cloudy. It's not crystal clear, but although it's cloudy, it's still super bright. Like the color is still, when I first opened it, the color was still brilliant, even though it was cloudy. So how does everybody else's wine look? Clear or cloudy? Anybody else?
Clear.
Wine? Nice, beautiful dark purple color. I'm loving it. Dark ruby color. I was suggesting earlier that like if you really wanted to get an idea of what was ruby and what was garnet, because those are the 2 most common colors that people use when they describe wine, is to go to your local jewelry store and look at all the ruby rings and look at all the garnet rings, and then you can see the difference in the color. So if your local jewelry store is open, try that, or maybe just go online and look for garnet rings and ruby rings so you can see the difference in the color. All right, and then what would you say? Am I froze? Am I froze? No. No.
I'm trying not to get my glasses mixed up. I think I may have mixed them up already.
Oh, she's back.
Oh,
Hey.
She's
Might-
back.
might have the wrong thing.
I think
Oh,
she's on mute.
yeah, you're on mute. Mhm.
There we go. Yes, I don't know why my internet's usually so good, but today it's just been going in and out all day. Not like that, though. It hasn't cut completely out like that, but yes. All right, so I'm not frozen anymore, right? Okay, you guys are still
Nope.
All right. So what about the intensity of the color? Would you say that it's not intense at all? Is it moderately intense, or is it very intense, or moderate plus?
Very intense.
Very intense.
Very intense. Mine was very intense too, which I was surprised by because it's so old. This one is 17 years old, and it was very, very intense. Yeah, so I think that might be one of the characteristics of Cote. A lot of grapes that have like a lot of skin contact. All right, and so now that you looked at it, and what would you say about the color? Would you say that it's purple, ruby, garnet,
Ruby.
red?
Garnet.
Garnet.
Mine is garnet. It's more. It's a darker. It's
Garnet.
a darker purple.
Mm-hmm. Garnet.
Garnet.
It's garnet. Garnet.
So I love it when they argue like that over the wine. They're so passionate.
He wants me to change my answer, but it's garnet,
So,
not ruby.
so Laverne says garnet, and then Elliot says ruby.
Yeah.
I see a ruby variation.
I think you need to
here,
buy
but-
her a ruby.
Yeah, what he
So on the
said.
side, you can see some garlic.
Uh-oh, the men are in it. The ruby variation.
All right, and so now let's smell the wine. So everybody take it up to your nose and smell it.
Oh,
It smells very good.
And so what I noticed about the color though for mine, I'm just gonna go back to it. I do notice that mine has a rim. So mine has like a brick red rim around the wine, around the edges of the glass. Yes, and that's because it's aged. So you can really see the rim in this one. All right, so now everybody swirl the wine and smell it. Bring it up to your nose.
That's good.
It's good. It's good. So what do you
Oh
guys
my God.
smell? So mine smells like dried
Like all kind of flowers.
flowers. What kind of flowers?
Oh man. Red roses, red flowers.
Mm. Okay, anybody else getting red roses, especially with the other people who have like 50% Grenache? Anybody else getting red roses?
I am getting red roses.
Getting red roses?
Yeah.
And what
Little
about, Linda said a little bit, what about any berries? Like what kind of berries are you getting? Any berries?
With blackberries.
Yeah, dark blackberry.
Definitely dark black berries, right? Like black cherries.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I
mom,
almost smell like a dark chocolate, actually.
oh, nice.
Coca.
So the fruit that you're smelling, before we go to the chocolate though, that fruit, those berries, are they dried? Are they fresh? Are they ripe? Are they underripe?
Right.
I think everything's ripe.
Right? So mine are overripe. My berries are overripe. They're almost baked. They're almost like cooked fruit. Dried fruit. Dried flowers even.
Dried flowers.
Yes.
Almost like potpourri.
Potpourri.
Yes, like potpourri. All right.
Yeah.
So now let's talk about some of the spices. So chocolate is something that I would call like a baking spice, right? So Nicole is saying she smells a little bit of chocolate in her wine, like dark chocolate, milk chocolate. What kind of chocolate?
A very dark chocolate.
Very dark chocolate. Yeah. So like rich but not sweet, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Anybody else getting chocolate in their wine?
I could go with that.
Very dark.
Yeah.
Larissa, Linda? Okay. Ellen Locke?
Yeah, about time.
I smell nutmeg.
Nutmeg, I like it. No, so in mine, I was getting a lot of baking spices. So I was getting some cardamom, some nutmeg, a hint of vanilla. I didn't get the dark chocolate to Nicole said it, but yeah, like dark chocolate. Now that Nicole said it, but definitely some baking spices for sure. And then what about savory spices? Is anybody getting any savory spices? So for mine, for example, I was getting some, I wanted to say green pepper, but not green pepper like Cabernet Franc or Sauvignon Blanc. I'm getting a green pepper like a jalapeno or a green like chili pepper.
Jalapeno.
Yes.
Jalapeno.
Yeah.
You got jalapeno?
There's a spice.
Yeah, I'm getting something green, so that might be the
Yes.
Green is
Jalapeno.
spicy.
Green
Green is
grass
spicy,
almost.
right? Huh? What did you say?
Right.
Green grass almost.
Green grass almost?
Earthy. Okay.
Yeah, definitely
I
green.
said jalapeno for sure.
Yeah, definitely green jalapeno. Okay, and then what about any like other spices? Like anybody getting any pepper, black pepper, red pepper, pink pepper?
black pepper.
We've yet to
I
try
think
that
in the
pink
one
pepper.
I have more peppery smells, and in the other one I don't. I'm trying to compare them.
I know. I
Let me
wish like your glasses were numbered 1 and 2 though.
I know. I should have done that. I mean, I'm trying to keep them spread out. So
The one that's peppery, which one is that one?
I think it's the Lavore, and so I'm even doing my book.
And then are you getting any in the Lavore, are you getting any other baking spices or savory spices in that?
I'm not good. I think it's too cold also. I wasn't paying attention to my timing. I may have to come back to some of the smells.
According to the
Okay. What about any so the indication of you could say that this wine was definitely aged in oak barrels because we're getting those baking spices, right? So if I said, do you get an indication of oak? The correct answer for most of you guys should be yes, because you guys all smelled a hint of vanilla, the dark chocolate. Linda, do you agree?
Yeah, I mean, I smell the chocolate for sure.
I smell pepper too.
Pepper?
And almost a smoky, almost a tobacco.
Nice, yeah. Let me see. Tobacco-y, like leathery. It's like a lot of different aromas. Is there any aroma that we didn't mention that somebody smells?
I feel like I can smell cinnamon.
Cinnamon, okay.
Maybe.
Any tropical flavors? No tropical flavors, right? No citrus flavors. We can skip those. We did get some floral. So I said that mine was overly ripe and it was dried. What would you guys say about your fruit? Would you say it's underripe and fresh, or dried fruits?
Why do you only have those choices?
I say it's ripe.
Underripe or dried?
You can say ripe, underripe, like all the ripe, underripe.
Yeah, right.
And then it's either dried or fresh. So first pick ripe, underripe, or overripe.
I say ripe.
Right.
Ripe and fresh.
Yeah, ripe and fresh.
Fresh. So mine is overripe and it's dried, so it's not fresh fruits. And in herbaceousness, so the herbaceousness, I said mine had some fresh jalapenos in it, in the smell.
Yeah, mine's too.
So the herbaceous will be in savory spices or fresh?
Herbaceous, so for me, herbaceous means like fresh spices, right? And then savory spices is going to be the dried version, right? So if I said herbaceous, I would say rosemary, but I would say like the fresh rosemary. But if I thought it was dried rosemary, I would put that in the savory spices. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So herbaceousness for me is like your fresh spices. And then stone fruits, any stone fruits?
I would have said like a plum.
Definitely like a black plum, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
And then any earthiness, like the leather, the tobacco, that's what I would call the earthiness. So we definitely
Leather.
earthiness.
What's leather?
Anise.
Leathery. So imagine like you go into like, remember the Wilson's store? The Wilson's leather store? Imagine you go into the Wilson's leather store, that fresh new leather. That's that leathery smell.
Ooh.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I can get that. Yeah.
Yes.
What if you smell a little bit of brown sugar? Is that something?
That would be your baking spices. Yeah, that's
Baking spices. I smell some brown sugar.
and that brown sugar is definitely
like
going to come from
caramel.
aging in oak. So whenever you smell baking spices, that's when you can always say, okay, this wine, I bet you it was aged in oak, right?
Okay, yeah.
So now let's see. Now let's taste the wine. I think we went through all the flavors. Does anybody else have anything else they want to talk about?
Well, we didn't talk about the legs.
Oh yeah.
The layers. Yeah.
Have you ever hoped wine tasted like it smells? I really hope this does.
I know, right?
I mean, I really hope it does. God.
Trust me.
Okay.
With this 2003, I was like, oh my God, what if I tasted it?
Oh my God.
Let's see. Okay, so what about the legs? Do you guys see a lot of legs? Or
A lot of
Yes.
legs.
Yes.
Yes.
A lot of legs.
so
If they're long, slow, what is that? Or are they long and fast?
and fast. You taste
Are they fast? I thought mine were pretty fast at first.
Mine was fast and long. Yeah.
Slow to be an indication of sugar in the wine. The fast just is an indication of the alcohol content in the wine.
Okay, so if they're fast, it's a high alcohol. If they're slow, it's more sugar.
More sugar. The more sugar you have, the less alcohol you're gonna have.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, the legs, I don't know if it's because I don't know if my glass has dish detergent or if it's not clean enough, but I can't really see any legs in my wine. Like I see
I've got plenty.
down. Well, yeah. No, I see them. And mine are fast. Thin, fast legs. All right.
Nice and slow. Long and slow.
And slow. So look at the first ones. Those might be slow, but then the second ones that come after that, are they slow or are they fast?
The second ones are faster.
Yeah, always look at the second ones, not the first ones, right?
Okay, so look at the second ones, not the first one, because that's what I was thinking, that the first ones were fast, the second ones were slow.
Yeah, I usually look at the second ones, but I was expecting for you to say that the second ones were faster than the first one.
No.
Connie, did you drink this room temperature or do you cool it?
So it depends on how hot your house is. You should always chill your red wines. Put them in the refrigerator 20 minutes before you want to serve them. And then like have them in your wine rack, put them in the refrigerator 20 minutes before you want to serve them, right? And then that should bring them down to like room temperature, like 75 degrees like by the time you serve it. This wine, I didn't put in the refrigerator because it was so old. I didn't want to disturb it. I just kept it in my wine rack. But my house stays relatively cool, not cold, but cool. And then I have this wine rack that's made out of bricks, so it keeps things cool. So this wine here is cool to the touch. It does not feel warm at all. So your wine should not be warm. It should be cool to the touch.
Okay.
All right. All right, so now let's take a sip of it, right? So everybody take a sip of the wine.
I'm thinking it'll taste better with food. What do you, I don't know.
Yeah, but that's good.
I don't know.
I love it.
Don't like it? Or what does you mean when you say that? Like,
No.
well, let's go through the taste. Before you tell me that, let's go through what you're actually tasting, right? So when you first taste this wine, is it sweet or is it dry?
It's dry.
It's dry. Dry.
And sweet.
Right.
Put that on the thing.
And then how does the acidity feel? So you can feel the acidity in the sides of your tongue. It's like a little tingling.
Right.
In the back, in the middle of your tongue towards the back, that's where you feel the tannins. It's going to feel dried out. It's going to feel Yeah, it's gonna make your mouth feel a little bit dry.
Bitter.
Feel the presence of the tannins. How's the acidity? Would you say that it's low, medium, or high?
I think it's low for me.
Low.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Medium.
Mine's medium to high.
Yeah, that's how mine is. My acidity in this wine is a medium plus, which I was really surprised by how acidic it was because it's so much older, but that could be the reason that it aged so well was because of the acidity in the wine. But the acidity in the wine is like a medium. Not a medium plus, it's like a medium. It's nice. It's just there. It feels good. All right, and then what about the alcohol? How does the alcohol feel? Does the alcohol feel low, high, or low?
Mine is high.
Feels
Moderate.
low.
Just low.
High.
High?
Yeah.
Feels low.
Yeah, this one feels kind
Feels
of
kind of low.
yeah, just
Good, but if it's higher, then
Okay, so now
it feels-
everybody, Linda, what did you say about yours?
It's high. I think it's high.
And Nicole?
Medium high.
Medium high. So now, look at the bottle and tell me what the alcohol percentage is. Mine says 13.5%.
Candace's is 15.
Oh, that's higher than I thought.
The Rhone Syrah is 15, and the Lavore is 14.5.
You know what though? I don't trust it because when you go to Paris, when you go not to Paris, but when you go to France, you won't have wines that are like 14.5, 14.9% alcohol. You just won't. Like most of their wines, for the red wines, most that you'll see in general is like 13.5%. And I think that what's so pretty is when they're going to send them to the American market because they know that Americans like alcohol in the wine. Because that's very high for a French wine, proper French wine. Larissa, what's the alcohol content in yours?
13.5.
And yeah, this is crazy. We're talking about wine and you have an American wine that's 13.5 and you have a French wine that's 14.5. Like, it's vice versa. But okay.
And
Yes, the owner of this winery, he loves French wines, so that way he tries to make his wines be lower alcohol.
Like in a French style, right? Now,
Style.
the wine that Candace has is French wine made in an American style.
This is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Good pick.
It says Cuvée Traditional. Cuvée Traditional. Does that mean anything?
Cuvée just means blend. It just means a blend.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying because it was sent to Bevmo.
Yes.
I feel like that producer was like, or the buyer.
It's in the alcohol.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay.
Really good.
And
mine is 14% also.
Yeah.
And this is a French wine. It's 14%. Oh, well, here we have to buy it from the state. So.
Oh, so like the state-run liquor store?
Yes. In Pennsylvania, we still have state-run. You can buy some in the supermarket also, but they have a limited selection at the supermarket.
Are you in Pennsylvania?
Where are you?
What's that? I'm sorry. In Pennsylvania.
Oh.
Where in Philadelphia or?
That's statewide. But I'm in Hershey, Pennsylvania, but it's the same for the whole state. They just started selling wine in supermarkets maybe a couple of years ago.
Wow.
Prior to that, it was all state run.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, I remember my husband, he lived in Philadelphia for 2 years and I was in Washington, D.C. And what we liked is you can bring your own wine to the restaurants because of that
You can
law.
do that.
Yeah, BYOB.
Yes, you can do that.
Okay, and so who else? Who else wants to tell me about their alcohol?
This 14.5%.
14.5.
14.5, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
There's Carmen.
Hey, Carmen, how are you? Welcome. 14.5. All right. I'm so disappointed by these French wines with this 14.5% business. Linda.
French,
But
and it's French.
But it doesn't taste like it.
It doesn't taste like
No,
it.
it doesn't taste like it.
Good thing.
I think mine does. I think mine
Like-
I feel the burn a little bit in my chest. So
All right. Yeah.
I get
Sweet. No.
Linda.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't taste that high.
Mine's 15%.
15? And that's French, right?
Linda's
Yep.
15%.
Wow.
15%? Wow.
Okay. Yes.
Hey, we keep an eye on you, Linda.
Wow.
Okay. And then
No wonder you're having so much fun over there.
say about the flavor profile, right? So like it's the flavor profile. So you talked about the smell profile, if it was low, medium, or intense, right? Or barely there, medium, or intense. As far as the flavor, would you say the flavor matches the intensity of the smell? Is
After
that
she's seven.
low, medium, or intense?
I would say yes.
Okay.
I would say yes too.
I would say yes too. I was very happy about that. Elliot and Laverne, would you say that the flavor intensity matches the aroma intensity?
Yeah, I think so. Yes. You say no?
Well, yeah, I say it does.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
It matches pretty good. Pretty good.
Linda, what would you say?
Oh, I would say it's, yeah, I think it's very well balanced.
Okay,
Yeah.
so maybe so if it's medium plus smell intensity, it's medium plus taste intensity.
Well balanced.
You want to add something about the wine? How it tastes?
Put them all together. There's a number.
Well, this is very fruity. It's very fruity.
It's very fruity. So is mine.
I look forward.
Six.
It's still intact. The problem is that
Let's go together.
wines, you have to drink them right away. Like there's no going to a restaurant and having them decant your older wine for 45 minutes. Older wines don't need to breathe. They should be trained like within 45 minutes after you open the bottle. So what's going to happen with this is I would love to share it with friends and say, look, it tastes amazing this 2003 wine is. But in the morning, this wine is not going to taste the same. It's going to taste pretty much like vinegar. There's not going to be any fruit flavor.
Oh.
That's what I'm expecting to happen. I'm going to put it in the refrigerator anyway, and I'm going to taste it in the morning anyway. But from my past experience with really old wines, that's what happens. I'll let you guys know next week if it actually had some fruit flavors the next day. All right. So the flavor intensity, would you say that your wine was full-bodied, light-bodied, or medium-bodied?
Medium.
Medium.
I do.
I'm going to say that mine's is full-bodied. And I'm going to say that it's full-bodied because it literally coats my tongue. Not coats it, but it touches every part of my mouth and it fulfills my mouth. Like it feels so full in my mouth, so heavy on my tongue. Carmen, what would you say? I saw you raising your hand a little bit.
I think it's just.
Well, at first I was going to say medium, but then when you talked about coating the tongue, I thought, do I? So maybe it's full. I mean, I really like this, so, but I think it does coat.
Yeah. It kind of just consumes my mouth, and that's why I'm calling it full body, because it consumes my mouth. And I hold it and I swish it around, and it touches every single part of my mouth. And then after I swallow it, I still notice all the flavors and all the aromas. So we will say medium to full bodied. And what about the tannins? Do your tannins feel high, medium, or low?
Low to medium.
Medium plus for me.
Medium plus. So they're there, you notice them, but they don't really My tannins are like a medium plus, but they're not like aggressive. They're not assertive. It's
Right.
like that they're there. I described it earlier as like you go to a party and there's a pretty girl in a dress, right? And she's beautiful, but she's not overdone, not a lot of makeup on. Her dress is not, you know, too tight. It's just a beautiful woman in a beautiful dress. And yeah, it's kind of like you at a party, right? You're just at the party. You're not over the top, but you're pretty and you're there. That's how the tannins feel for me in this wine.
Mhm. Okay, I'll get that.
Medium.
And that's what I say. Medium,
Yeah.
maybe toward the plus side.
Yeah.
Medium, I would say.
Yeah, but it's still in the back of my.
All right.
Mhm.
And let me get my bearings and where we are. All right. So now, what about the finish? How does this wine finish now that you've swallowed the wine? Does it have a lingering aftertaste? Is it kind of quick gone and now you can't notice it?
No, it's got a good finish. It's got I won't say long, but it's got a medium finish.
Yeah.
Finish? Anybody else? Short finish? No short finishes, right? Yay!
Medium finish, I would say.
I'd say medium. It doesn't linger terribly long.
No, I kept going back to get some more, but it's still there, but it's still, it's still there. So
Mine's is a very long finish. I can definitely taste all the different aromas that keep popping in my mouth. It kind of changes even after I've swallowed the wine. And like right now, I'm tasting like some tart plum skin, So I think that mine has a very long finish. It's actually a really good wine for $7. Can you guys believe this? I bought it for $7.
What's the name of your wine, Tani?
It's called Belarus.
Belarus.
Belarus, and it's from 2003. It's by the maker M. Chapoutier.
Carmen, I was telling her we saw that one in Bevmo. She said, go back and get it.
We'll have to go get that one too to try it.
This one is from 2003, and it has so many layers of flavors like dried fruit, a little bit of jalapeno, some vanilla, dark chocolate. It's just really a good wine. So I don't know if the more recent ones they're making are this good, but this is from 2003, and it's still intact. Sometimes you could drink a wine this old, and it's just gone south, but this one is really good. It's still intact. All right. So now, do you guys want to talk about my favorite part, the quality of the wine, right? So let's first talk about your objective opinion about the wine. Do you think that the wine is, do you think that it's a poor wine? Do you think that it's a good wine? Do you think it's acceptable or outstanding? Let me put those in the right order. So it would be poor, acceptable, good, or outstanding.
I don't say this much, so I'm gonna sit at very good because nobody gets outstanding with me. But this is good. This is good. This is weird dating.
Very
serious.
Good.
This is good.
Seriously dating. All right. And somebody told me there was a flaw with my cards that I need to go from second date to boyfriend instead of second date to your long-term boyfriend.
Good. This is very good.
Okay. Who else wants to go? Nicole?
Here, I'll go. I'm going to say outstanding because when I first tasted it, I don't know if anyone noticed, but I started dancing.
All right now.
So I'm pretty stingy with outstanding also, but this is very well balanced. I was actually surprised by the alcohol content because it doesn't taste like 14% to me. But yeah, I really liked it.
Nice. And so I guess that means you're going to marry this wine?
Yes, I'll marry. I can keep this one.
Yes, thank you. Carmen.
I agree. I was like, ooh, I like it, but wait, Do I like it that much? You know, kind of like the, you know, when I met my husband. Slow it down.
Is it poor, acceptable, good, or
Really, really is. I did say that. Here's my. So no, I think it's great. And Candace and I have two different bottles. I'm sure she shared.
Yeah,
so I was thinking one would be more favorable than the other. I could taste the difference, but there is one that I really, really like. So,
which one do you like the best, the Grand Goût or the Reserve La Rosia? Yes, I think that's what Candace liked as well.
But they're both good. They're both good, but that one's better. Yeah, I would agree. I'm gonna mix them in a minute, so I have one glass. But they're both good. I'm almost done. I'm really almost done with this.
There you go. There you go.
Perfect.
Le Vert. Le Bois.
Oh, Le Bois. Maybe that's how you say it. Le Bois.
Le Bois, yeah, it is Le Bois.
I just don't know.
Oh, Le Bois.
Yo Le Bois.
Yo Le Bois. Maybe it's Le Bois. I don't know. We'll have
I don't know. Yeah. I'll ask
so EUX means oh. Don't.
It's Rhone Vieux Le Bois. Rhone Vieux Le Bois. And I took French in high school, so don't ask me what it means.
Yeah, me too. But I forgot.
All right, Larissa, how did you like your wines? Can you tell me what you rate the wine? Poor, acceptable, good, or outstanding?
I will rate it good. It's a good wine.
Good wine. So obviously you're not gonna ghost it. Would you friend zone it? Second date, or would you marry it?
I will see. What's the difference between friend zone and second date?
Second date means that you're interested in them, like you like them, you know, like you're crushing, you know. Friend zone is just like, you know what? If this wine was on sale in the grocery store and it was in your budget, you would buy it. If it was the last resort, I mean, not the last resort, but like, you know, if you were going to go hang out and go to a wine bar, you'd call two of your really good friends before you called this friend. So that's zone.
Oh, I will second date then.
And the second date is like dressed up, you're going to go on the second date, you really like it, you're hoping that maybe something develops, but maybe it doesn't, you know? All right. Who else? Linda, what did you think?
I think this is outstanding wine. It has like the fruit, and it has the, you know, just the earthy, tobacco-y. I love that. You know, but I mean, as a wine, and I would marry it. I would marry it.
Ooh. Whoa.
Keep you in a nice box too. All right.
Just hits my spot right where I like it, you know.
Whoa. All right. That's good. That's good. All right. You like that. I'm about to try what you're having.
Hello, Jupiter.
What did you guys?
Hello to Jupiter. Okay. All right.
Is that from France?
Yes.
Yep. It's a 15% alcohol.
Oh, put that down there. Hello to
Very hot when they harvest those grapes.
It's good.
I love it. So what did you guys think? Would you guys think the quality poor, acceptable, good, or outstanding?
Me?
Who is she talking about?
You guys didn't go already?
No. I thought it was good, and I thought I would second date it. No, I would second date it, and I'm kind of curious.
Well, I thought it was good, but I would friend zone it. I have to try a different brand. Maybe that'll change my mind.
Something to compare it to. So until she finds something better, she's gonna just zone it. So that's what the friend zone is. Like, you like it, but you're like, you know what? I'm kind of keeping my options for somebody who's more cooler to hang out with, somebody who's, I don't know, who gets on a good guest list, that's the friend zone. All right. Who didn't go? Larissa, did you go? Did you tell us already?
Yes, I did.
You're the first one. All right. And so mine, I felt like mine, and I don't give this out very often, but I felt like my wine was outstanding. It had a long lingering finish. It had all these layers of fruits, like dried fruits, spices, like the jalapeno in it was like delicious, The tannins were elegant, like they were well balanced. The acidity had some acidity that just kind of gave me some little, little oomph as well. It's an outstanding wine, and I would marry this wine.
Okay.
South Africa right now, and if somebody said, I can bring you just right now, I can bring you like a 6-month supply of wine, and it could only be one wine, one type of wine, one wine brand, I'd tell them bring this wine. I feel like
Right. I've never heard of this before, Tuanni, so thank you for this one.
Yeah.
Because this was a really good surprise. And I know that I could pick one of these, and I wrote down yours like I always do too, and I could buy this and recommend this to other people. So I'm really excited about this one. And I think it's a good table wine too. Like, I could sit here and drink this one all night, and I don't finish a bottle, you guys. So
and that's what I'm saying. Like, look at this bottle, it's halfway gone. And you guys know I usually don't even taste on these Tuesday nights. And I was like, I'm just gonna have a taste. But when this one is so good. I'm not gonna drink the rest of it because that would be insane and irresponsible. I mean, but it's not like I have to drive, but I do have to work tomorrow.
Right.
I wish I could share it with you guys. It's so good. And then for like 100 Rand, I could have gotten like 20 bottles. And when I came back to LA, I could have been like, look, I bought you guys some French wine from South Africa. But it's so good.
Say what the name of yours is one more time.
It's called Belarus. Cote de Rhone. I can type it in the text too. Cote de Rhone, and the maker the estate is M. Chapoutier.
Chapoutier.
And it's great. You know how like people listen to like critics and wine people. Like, I saw somebody had like a James Suckling label on their wine. This one, the wine critics gave it 3.6 stars. Yeah, that's the James Suckling. 3.6 stars is what the wine critics gave it. But when you look at the reviews from all the people, it scored like in the high 4s, almost a full good 5, and they love the wine if you just read the reviews. So that just goes to show you that just because Robert Parker or John, Tim, whatever his name, James Suckling gives it like a really high score or really low wine score, you can't go by what that is. You have to kind of just explore on your own and maybe read down into the reviews and see what people are saying. Like if they say, oh, it has black fruit and tobacco and leather, and you don't like those characteristics, then you know you're not going to like this wine. But now that you've tasted this, and we had dark chocolate, leather, tobacco, jalapeno, dark fruits, now you know that that's something that you like. So if you see that in a review, then you're like, okay, I'm going to buy that wine because those are some of the flavors that I like. And that's the whole point of the whole class. Right. So,
love it.
I think
so if it's if it's a California wine, so is it still in the Cote de Rhone style then? Because I've had GSMs like Grenache Syrah and the way they call the GSMs.
Yes.
GSM, I've seen that in California before, but wouldn't necessarily be in the style of Cote de Rhone then? It would be.
And that's a good question, because I think with GSM, a lot of times, it just depends. I think if you like GSM, you would like a Cote de Rhone, right? The style of it. I think the style of it, Cote de Rhone might be a little bit more Grenache heavy, where GSM might be a little bit more Syrah heavy. Cote de Rhone might not have as much of an influence as Mourvedre, whereas GSM might have a little bit more influence as Mourvedre. But now that I think about it, I don't know, because this Cote de Rhone, I need to know what grapes are in it, because those dried fruits aromas, I could be getting that from the Mourvedre. I just think that you should just think about the Rhone region as a whole. So if you think about the Southern Rhone Valley of France and you like this wine, then you more than likely will like a GSM, or you'll like any other wine that comes from this region, because it's pretty much going to be Grenache and Syrah and Mourvedre mixed with all these other grapes, like the Cinsault.
And mine has been so.
Saw your Cinsault. That was my reminder. And the Carian that Candace had in hers. Candace, the one that you liked.
It was Nicole, I think, who had the carry-in.
Oh, who was Nicole had the carry-in? Okay, yes. Okay, cool. So yeah.
Yes.
That's the way to approach it. I would say like this, the region will probably have the same styles that you like. So you probably will like a GSM from California, maybe. Or GSM. I would just try GSM from France again. Go back to France.
This was good.
Any more questions before I get off this call?
Good, good, delicious. Next week is the a Spanish wine. Oh, let me ask real quick about the whites. I know you started, I came in late on that conversation. Do you like the white Cote de Rhone? Like, we were surprised to be in that they even have the white.
Yeah, I
like
the white Cote de Rhone. So like you're gonna have, they can taste a little bit different though, right? A little bit different than your typical whites, except for the Viognier. Viognier is Viognier. Viognier is gonna be fruity, plus it's gonna be floral. I wouldn't get a Viognier that's sweet. I would get a dry Viognier, but I do love Viogniers, right? But if it's not a Viognier, it might be a blend of Marsanne and Roussanne, and they're a little bit unique and I want to say not hard to get used to, but they have a different type of flavor profile. So they could be a little bit oily. They could be definitely more full-bodied, not as fresh fruit. You're going to get a little bit more earthiness to them and a little bit more floralness to them, not necessarily fruit. But yeah, I would try a
I don't care for Viogniers, so I learned that from your tasting. So I probably won't buy the white, because if that's the blend, I probably won't buy it, because I'll try it when we try it, but other than that, I probably wouldn't buy it because I don't like Viognier. I gave that bottle away. I let the girls drink it at a party.
That one though, that was, whose Viognier was that?
Try it.
I don't remember. I'll have to go back and look at my book.
You might have to try a different Viognier, because Viognier, there's so many different styles. There's no.
I love to say that, Viognier. I love to say it, but I didn't like it.
So there's no space in the Belarus that I just did. I don't know why this space happened.
I'm from Paso Robles. Maybe you would like those.
I have to. Yeah, I'll look back and I'll research.
Don't give up on Viognier. When we come back around, taste it again, and then I'll recommend another one. All right.
Okay.
So next week, we're tasting Spanish white blend. I would look for something from the Rioja region, because the whites in Rioja are usually blends. So if you ask for a white Rioja is going to be a blend. You might have to go to a specialty wine store. And I was just on my, actually I'm gonna put this in the text and you guys can just copy and paste it. These are a list of wine stores in LA where you might be able to, and they deliver too. You can go on their website. So
and you're saying that they had the white wines from Spain?
They might have white wine from Spain, but they have a lot of small producers.
I feel like making some meatballs right now. I really am hungry. I need some meatballs.
They would pair really well with this one.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm getting hungry now. I need some meatballs. I'll go in there and make some spaghetti and meat. Adams Wine Shop on West Adams. Okay. And I do really want to, I mean, I'm lazy when I end up going to Bevmo, but I really do want to support some of the wine shops out here.
All right, so those are the wine shops, and they're small boutique wine shops, and I suggest that you go there and find your wines in those wine shops. Just copy and paste that list if you can, and yeah. If you and they're online too, so you can always go online. That's what I would do too. You don't even have to leave your house. Just go online, look for some wines that might be on the list that I gave you. If you see them on the list that I gave you, you can like even text them or send them a message and ask them about the wines, or ask them if they have the wines. But yeah, that's a good list to start off with, of local small boutique wine shops. I mean, Bevmo is great, but Bevmo is a conglomerate and they're getting a lot of business. You know, during these times, it's important to support small businesses. And then Larissa, you know what? I can't even Larissa, what? I need to add your name to this shop, to this list. She's in Manhattan Beach. Do you deliver or do they only pick up?
No, I am. Can you hear me?
You're in you're in Northern California.
Bay, Northern California, close to.
I didn't think Larissa was down here. I'm a partner, but
I just want to claim her. I just want to claim her as LA. Do you deliver or do they have to pay shipping? That's the only thing.
Yeah, they have to pay shipping, but I only deliver here on the coast for free. I mean.
Well, if you guys are ever in Monterey, right? Or what is it called? Where
Half Moon Bay is. It's like 45 minutes south of San Francisco.
Yes, if you guys are ever in Half Moon Bay, make sure.
I will remember.
Yeah.
I have a mushroom farmer in Half Moon Bay.
Yes, there are, right? So you buy mushroom from
They were a customer. I'm a workers' comp safety and health and marketing manager, and so we looked at them when I was up there. I got a nice trip out of it. But I'm from Louisville, so I'm up there. I was up there a lot more before the pandemic. My dad's still in San Martin.
Okay.
San Martin is south of San Jose. So.
Okay.
Tuanni, real quick. My guy, Charles Wine Company.
Yes.
He's really just, will he get it for us and bring it over, or I still have to pay shipping with him as well, right?
Oh yeah, he can't get you these wines, no.
Okay. That's all. Okay.
All right, and I love Charles to death, but he can't get you these wines. Yeah, so just look at the wine list that I sent you guys. You guys, I'm about to go to sleep before the sun comes up.
That was good.
So nice to
all right.
You guys.
I'm gonna go to sleep now too.
Have a wonderful day tomorrow. Celebrate. Be safe.
Bye-bye.